It's Candy-O 742. Stand by, Mariah Carey next.
I would rather be in the field of animation. Feel like I could be myself, yet someone different at the same time.
Bringing a world perspective to today's news.
Why voiceover? It's powerful, it's creative, it's cool.
Oh yes, voiceover is cool, but it's not as cool as Talking Shop with Dan Lothian and Lau Lapides. What's that? It should be Lau Lapides first, then Dan Lothian? They'll fix it in post. This is Mic, Camera, Action.
Tramaine Montell Ford is a New York-based actor, comedian, writer, singer-songwriter, dancer, animation voiceover artist, award-winning solo performer, and coach. Tramaine recently earned his Master's of Fine Arts degree at American Repertory Theater's Institute for Advanced Theater Training at Harvard University. He's performed in such projects as Hairspray the Movie, The Oprah Winfrey Show, One Life to Live, Saturday Night Live, and the national and international tours of Dreamgirls and Aida. He's choreographed for artist Kid Sister and danced backup for Lady Gaga. Go to Tramaine.net for more information.
Well, you look like a Dunkin' Donuts shop here.
Don't
You have what? Water and then iced coffee.
I got it lined up. I am so known at the local Dunkin' Donuts that when I come through with my dogs, because I have two little cute Frenchie bulldogs in the back seat, they got to talk to the dogs. They got to know how the dogs
Do they have
are
treats
doing.
for the dogs?
They don't have treats for the dogs because I don't want to give the dogs munchkins. You know how it is. They get fat if they get
Yeah,
munchkins.
but sometimes these stores have little treats, little dog treats.
No, they don't. They just know who we are. Do you know I get to that, what do they call it, the intercom?
Mm-hmm.
They actually know my order.
Oh, wow.
That's
scary.
Isn't it? I don't know if that's good customer service or just, bad eating on my part, but there you go. I'm a good customer.
Yes, definitely. By the way, that's Coach Carol in the background coughing her lungs
we're both
out.
coughing and sneezing. We're getting over a cold, so what can you do? It's that time of year.
But there's no coughing from our guest. How did you like that?
Allergies, that's right. Allergies.
No coughing. Tramaine joins us on the line all the way from the Big Apple.
New York.
Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. I thought you were so stunned by our introduction that it moved you to silence.
I was New York.
That's right.
Tremaine's got to sing like 32 bars for us. He's like the talk of the town.
Oh, really?
This guy is a tour de force. I'm not kidding you.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, I hope I'm the talk of the Boston town.
How we got connected is through our dear friend and colleague, Xavier Paul Cadeau, which our fans will remember. We interviewed him
way back at the beginning of our
podcasts
Yes,
ago.
Exactly.
And I'm going to do a quick plug because we've got Xavier coming into town, into Boston, for about a week. He's going to be giving an amazing animation program for us, as he's a great voiceover talent. So he connected Tramaine and I come to find out Tramaine is an amazing talent and an amazing tour de force.
Wow.
So that's how we all know each other.
Well, Tramaine, tell us about this tour de force amazing talent that you are.
Well, I'm simply just an artist that loves what I do. And I have been, since a very early age, since about 13, I have been doing everything I can to make a living out of doing that.
Right.
I decided really early that I wanted to enjoy what I did for work. So, I just, I've been hustling, and I've been laying one brick at a time, that's all you can do. I started off as an actor. But I'm also a singer, dancer, designer. I teach and coach. I work for an investment production company, so I love to do things behind the scenes. I like to write, produce, you name it.
Wow.
Music.
And Tramaine, you have had off and on staging a one-man show. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So in about 2009, I was inspired to write a piece, and I didn't know what it was going to be when I first started writing it. It was really just inspired by some of the emotional things that were going on in my life at the time, and I was utilizing writing to as an outlet to just get some of my thoughts out. So I created a show. And with the help of some people that I knew over at Theater Row from some of my training with Syracuse University, I was able to get a space and workshop it right there at Theater Row on 42nd Street. And it ended up being, something that really took off for a while for me. It's about growing up in Chicago in the projects, and I play a bunch of different characters, from my childhood, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's something that I love to do when I'm not working on a project of someone else's.
You talked about earlier, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Is it all within the realm of, building those bricks that you were talking about, or is some of it, what every artist has to do, which is make a living while you're pursuing your dream?
It's a little bit of both. It started out as being more so the basis of what I enjoy is storytelling. So, that the art of storytelling, you can tell a story in so many ways, through animation, through voiceover, through plays, through music, and through stories, through written stories. And I just like to be a part of that process of creating stories and telling them. After I graduated from, I wanted to, tell you quickly, I went to Syracuse University and got my bachelor's of fine arts in theater. And then about 6 years later, I decided to go back to school and get my master's at the American Repertory Theater at Harvard. So during that time, I really, really focused on the fact that this is a business and this is something that needs to generate income for me, and this is something that that I have to build slowly, and it's going to take time, and it's going to take a lot of work.
It's a grind.
I feel like I have to do all those different things in order to make a living.
No, that makes sense, because when we often talk about the importance of focusing on a particular aspect of your career in order to really make it sort of substantial and not be distracted. But it is kind of this two-sided coin, the two sides of the coin, right? You have to, you want to pursue your dream. You want to be prepared for that next big thing, but at the same time, you have to pay for the electric bill and the rent and so forth.
Real
and
life.
So, it's real life comes into play all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really, for me, it's really about time management. That's the ongoing challenge is time management. Where am I putting my time? So, if I've constantly heard the saying, jack of all trades, master of none. So although I think as a multifaceted human being, it's natural for me to really kind of be a little ADD with all the different things that are the different creative outlets that I enjoy to swing between. However, I just find that it's important to do one thing at a time. That's all. So when I am going to do a play or a one-man show, or I'm going to teach, a residency, I focus on that, for that time. But at the same time, you've always got to be on your toes, because the truth is, I'll be working on a show thinking I'm giving my 100% focus to that. And my agent calls me and says, you need to start working on these sides to send in a tape for when that show's done.
Right. And that's so important, because you don't want that downtime where, you're sitting there twiddling your thumbs and going, oh no, what next? You have to be preparing for the next thing while you're in the thing.
You always have to have enough in the pipeline to go to.
Are you loving the show? Find us on iTunes to review us and rate us. Thanks for your help.
You're a triple threat, correct? I mean, you would be considered, professional singer, dancer, actor, all three. Am I correct in saying that?
Sure. Yeah, that is correct.
So, are you, always spending time with your, your training and keeping up in all of those directions so that you can be up for not just, TV shows, but also, musical theater?
Oh, yeah, I'm always working on stuff. I've got to keep, as much as I love straight acting. If I'm working on something that's just acting, I've got to keep stretching for the next thing that may come up that may be the right job for me, and it's a dance job. I've got to continue to keep my vocals, doing my vocal exercises daily, so that if a singing role comes up, I'm prepared for it. I've noticed that, it's my agent said to me recently something that was so interesting, and she said that nowadays people are pigeonholing artists less and less. So everyone does everything now.
Interesting.
And that kind of blew my mind. I was like, really? I've been trying so hard to not be pigeonholed in one area. And she's saying that's not even something you need to worry about nowadays.
And why is that? What do you think is behind that shift?
I think because media probably is a huge part of it. We've got social media, we've got quick media with Instagram videos, with everyone has a Facebook page. It's easy for anyone to build a website or to make a YouTube channel. So I think the technology is what it really is. As far as people moving between the different mediums, right now we've got Broadway shows that are going on live on television. Live, they had Hairspray live, and then they had The Wiz live. So those type of things, I think, are just kind of making everything cross over. It's like, okay, this is a musical, but this is on camera, but it's a stage play, but we're going to tape it. And we're going to have, so it's combining all those elements. I've always liked the idea of the sitcom because it feels like you're combining those elements. You're having that theatrical element with the live studio audience, but you get to have the fun of working with the camera.
Right.
So here's the $10 million question for you. For those folks who are either in the industry currently working or getting in, thinking of coming in as a career talent, what are some of the rules of the road, since you've been out there for quite a while now, that you want to let talent know about? What should they be doing and what shouldn't they be doing?
Do everything right.
Say, well, there are a lot of things. I'd say the most important thing, or the thing that comes to me first, is to I think talent should be constantly building their network. And they should be constantly working on their craft. I don't think that everyone needs to go to school and get a degree, in acting or, to be an actor. However, the training is important. A lot of people have natural talent and certain things like that, but to really understand what you need to do in the business, you've got to have these certain, you got to have these certain basics down. So constantly working on your craft, whether that be having a coach, going to take class somewhere, weekly, monthly, whatever it is, online, by the phone, even if it's getting with friends and practicing something, a poem you wrote, and reciting it with your friend, going to see shows and listen to music. I feel like that thing has been the biggest thing that's been helping moving my career forward more than anything. It's more like once I felt like my network was there and kind of began to have a shape, then things were coming to me from my network, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was getting jobs from people who had worked with me and they were recommending me. So as opposed to me going to look for something, or my agent was looking for something, my great friend Walter, who I did Dreamgirls, said, "Hey, I thought of you for this." So, and I'm getting a lot of jobs from, my network, period. I'm getting leads from my network. I'm getting housing leads from my network. Coming out to New York and being an artist is a beast. And so I've done it all as far as the housing is concerned. I've lived in every borough and subleased every type of contract you can, and slept on floor mats.
You've
Slept
been
on
around.
couches. Yeah, I've had my belongings in a locker at a 24-hour New York sports club.
Wow. You got to do what you have to do, right, to make it work. And it's so true. I mean, there is this, sometimes people are a little nervous about going out and building their networks. They feel overwhelmed by the process, or others sort of look at it as, I can do this. I don't need this kind of network. But it really is important because, you can be very talented, but sometimes it comes down to who do you know? Because you're getting picked for roles, and you're getting jobs that may not even sort of formally be listed out there. Someone has you in mind as they're going through the creative process, right?
That's
and
right.
It does give you that leg up.
Now, I have a question, Tramaine. You were at our showcase recently. We did a New England showcase.
Yes, it was fabulous.
You were at our showcase as a guest panelist, which was awesome. But here's an interesting question that talent asks us all the time as coaches. They say, how do, I'm part of a whole group that's coming through, 20, 30, 40 people that's coming through. What are you looking for? What interests you? What sort of makes you sit up and go, aha, when you see a talent in front of you for casting or representation? So you're on both sides of the table now, right? So how would you answer that out of all those people? Who really stands out and why?
I found that when it comes to me enjoying art, as far as what type of TV shows I like to watch, what type of movies I like to watch, what type of plays I like to watch, I'll be more into the genre or the content, etc. But with watching auditions or other actors' work, or 20, 30 people come in and do auditions, it really doesn't matter the content. It really doesn't matter the genre. It really doesn't matter if it's a comedy, if it's a drama, if it's serious, if it's classical. It's really about the person being connected to it. And so I feel like when a person is connected to the material in a deep way, or in a meaningful way, then there's an instant click in. There's an instant draw. I think for me as an artist, my biggest obstacle in auditions were nerves. I spent so much time with my training and my teachers and my coaches on working on my craft. And then when I would get up and go out and do my audition, I would get so nervous, and that would get in the way of me, kind of doing what I worked on.
So how did you deal with that?
For several weeks.
How'd you manage your nerves?
I really had to just, the truth is, a long time ago, I embarrassed myself fully at an audition that I was late to. I ripped my pants open in front of everyone. They all laughed at me because I had a hole in my jeans. I didn't have a headshot, so I had to write my name and my number on a torn off piece of paper. So it was just like a mess of an audition for me. It was just, I just was like all over the place. And because that happened, when it was time for me to get up there and do what they asked me to do, there was a certain amount of letting go. I was like, well, I embarrassed myself as fully as I can. I mean, what could possibly happen now? And in a way, I was not really desperate to get the job. I was more just
performing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Without the pressure, I guess it was. Kind of the way, you see some people.
And so that taught me what it felt like.
So I guess is the advice to just tell people, go up there and just sink a big one, and then after that you'll be fine? Just totally mess it up, blow it.
No, I would say the advice is to practice. So like showcases and stuff like that, that's amazing. Like as many auditions as you can go on. There are auditions sometimes that I will feel like I'm not exactly right for this role, or maybe there's a conflict here with this event. However, I'll still go in to be seen by that person, to audition, to practice some material. So it's really just about practice, doing it. And if you find that nerves are in the way. In my case, nerves were in the way, and I had to do it in order to see that the nerves were in the way.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had to have the experience of the nerves not being there and say, hey, I can do it this way as well. And, today, I've been doing this for over 20 years. I still get nervous.
Mm-hmm.
But I've learned how to use it to my benefit more so, as opposed to allowing it to get in the way.
What has been one of your favorite projects in recent years, like in the last year or two? What has been a project that you really just loved working on, that you found gave you some sort of return, that you would even go back to or want to resurrect?
About a year ago, I did one of the productions of In the Heights at the Jiva Theater Center. And if you don't know that show, that is one of Lin-Manuel's first musicals before Hamilton. Mm-hmm. And of course, of the success and all the buzz and the excitement about Hamilton, brought so much attention to the genius of Lin-Manuel. But he's been long a genius before then. So This show was something that I really got to learn and discover how beautiful that piece of work was, and how he really began to, as they say, change the canon of the types of things that are on Broadway and that are coming on Broadway, and putting new stories out there. He's been doing that for a while, and that's just a beautiful piece that I both enjoyed performing, and I felt like I had a cathartic experience, almost like a therapy, from doing that show 8 days a week.
Wow. Well, Tramaine, you brought up so many important points, not only in laying out your background and what has inspired you throughout the years, but a lot of good information, I think, that those currently trying to make it in the industry can glean a lot from. So thank you so much for sharing that with us.
I'm so excited to work with you on, upcoming projects, and we got a lot of great work to do together.
Well, I just think you guys are fabulous. So thank you very much. And I am excited about the future of what we can do. And I am loving your book, 50 Ways to Mega Crush Your Media Career.
Oh, thank you. Thanks
a bunch.
Tell everybody about it.
I'm getting much needed reminders and things that I didn't even know or think about that have been really helpful.
Spoken by a pro.
That's right. I'm in awe.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
When the content's good, it's good.
Thank you so much, and we'll be watching for you in the bright lights.
Awesome.
Bye-bye.
Can't wait.
So then I was like, do you want to see my Neumann?
Dude, we're still rolling.
What? They're still listening? Don't these people have homes? Well, since you're still with us, check us out at LaLapidesCompany.com and LittleParkMedia.com and look for Media Monster, the Learning Hub programs. Everything from coaching to podcasts to media events and very cool and necessary seminars and workshops. By the way, did that lazy tech director ever fix the intro?